com.
I don't remember you caring ever about guns.
My position solidified somewhere between Columbine and Charleston. Any head case, felon, or terrorist can buy an assault rifle from a gun show, the internet, or his buddy at the Bowl-O-Rama without so much as an ID. Upon the advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer your question based on my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
What do you know about the gun lobby's opponents?
The Brady campaign? I know they're going to lose because their total budget is less than what the gun lobby pays to get their shoes shined.
The Brady campaign wants you to lead the fight on gun control. You run defense out of our office. When it's over, you can choose from any of the D.C. behemoths lining up for your signature.
Oh, that gun control thriller just didn't really thrill. In fact, it was an epic flop. Last weekend, Miss Sloane, starring Jessica Chastain, posted one of the worst performances of the past 35 years for a movie in wide release. Ouch. Could it be Americans are sick and tired of the left and those who've never actually been near actual firearms coming at us with this lame gun scare nonsense? There's a thought. Joining me now with his take, Washington Free Beacon staff writer Stephen Gutowski. Stephen, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me on.
So, Stephen, I guess it just didn't really catch on. Maybe the Russians are behind this one, too.
Yeah, could be. But clearly, Americans aren't interested in Miss Sloane whatsoever. I mean, it's the 79th worst opening of all time.
You know, it's amazing because I think that they were expecting it not to be, you know, a great box office smash hit. We know we had Star Wars come out as well, so I think that they were expecting it. But this was, you know, pretty bad. And just watching the trailer there, it almost makes me nauseated, almost makes me want to barf. This is kind of the same stuff that the mainstream media feeds us, though, so I'm not really surprised. But, you know, what do you think it is about a movie like this that turns off so many, you know, movie-going Americans?
Well, I just think that a lot of Americans simply don't share the same political philosophy that Hollywood does. I think most Americans don't agree with this push for more gun control. Clearly, Hillary Clinton was the most radically anti-gun candidate in modern history, and she lost. So I think that carried over here.
You know, say that a little louder. She lost. I don't think that the majority of the country that live in either LA or New York City really are accepting the fact that she lost, her ideas lost, her narratives lost, her disdain for the Second Amendment lost. It seems like they can't get over that, and they still continue to insult those of us that don't live in LA or New York City, or those of us that tend to vote for the R, or those of us that think more conservative in thought. They just don't seem to get the fact that we are voters as well, and that we cast our vote for Donald Trump and for our Second Amendment rights, among other rights. That's just not really setting in. I'm wondering if it's ever going to. Do you think that these liberal movies are going to stop anytime soon, especially if they're tanking this badly?
No, not at all, honestly, because they've been making liberal political movies for decades now, and they've pretty much all failed, regardless of the star power or budget behind them. There were a number of anti-war movies in the Bush era that just tanked. I don't think, you know, as you said before, I'm not sure they really expected this to be a blockbuster like Rogue One or something like that. It was only cost $13 million to make, but even to those standards, you know, it's only made $3.2 million at this point, and I don't think it's going to make much more than that.
I don't think it is either, and I just like to point out that no, it is no Star Wars Rogue One, but Napoleon Dynamite made a whole heck of a lot of money, so clearly it's not about budget, it's more about the content. But there are other movies about lobbyists, Thank You for Smoking being one that was a hit that people did seem to enjoy, so I think this one was just too much in your face, and it was an insult to Second Amendment supporters as well as conservatives and those that just appreciate our rights. It also just was rather cheesy and corny when I watched the trailer. But, you know, moving forward, talking about pop culture and the way it's been responding to the upcoming Trump presidency, talking about the inauguration, talking about what happens after January 20th, 2017, do you think there's going to be a softening in Hollywood after we do have him sworn in? He is our president. He's in the White House. Will we see a change of heart from any of these folks?
Probably not. You know, we never saw that with George Bush or any other Republican president, really. They don't like you until you're out of office, usually, if you're a Republican elected official. Then it becomes, well, he's not as bad as, you know, George Bush, or he's not as bad as Ronald Reagan. But when they're in office, that kind of treatment it doesn't happen. They'll keep pressing. They're not going to change.
Yeah. Well, we don't need them to change because we're just going to move forward and make America great again. Thanks for being with me tonight, Stephen.
Thanks.